Hey you guys, okay, so I wanted to make a tutorial to teach you guys how to microblade your brows for under $3, all right? So let's get straight into this video. I know you guys have been excited to see how I transform these messy brows into amazing microbladed looking brows. Like seriously, when I go out, people stop me to ask me if I microbladed and I'm like, nope. I literally did it using this one item. Stay here and keep watching. Okay, so these are the items you're going to be needing in order to get your brows to look like they are microbladed. The main item that you're gonna need that is literally super cheap, clear bar soap. So this bar of soap literally costs under probably $2-3. Any clear bar soap will do. Don't use a bar soap that's white or pink or whatever color. It has to be clear. So you see here, this is a clear soap. You can buy this at any pharmacy, any supermarket. I found this, I think, in deals. Second thing you're gonna need, which I'm pretty sure most of you already have at home, is a spoolie. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the spoolie, and there's something you guys need to make sure is that your spoolie is not your typical spoolie like this one here. This one is your normal spoolie, which is kind of wide. Instead, you want a spoolie that looks like this, super tight, super tiny. You could see the difference here. This one is much more, the bristles come out much longer. These are super short bristles. This will work best because it will help flatten out those brow hairs. So this spoolie here is a double-ended brow pencil with the spoolie. You guys, a lot of companies make these. The one that I like to use is by Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Pencil, and I like it because it's super, super thin. Let's zoom in here and take a look at that, how skinny that is. That's exactly what you want to use. You're never going to pull it up that long. You're going to keep it right about there because the longer it is, the easier it'll be for it to break. So we'll keep that pencil right about there. And then all you need now is a concealer. And my favorite type of concealers to use would be something a little bit more thick. The one that I'm using is by Bobbi Brown in the color Sand. This is what it looks like. I only use this for my brows. It's a thick concealer. You can use any concealer that just has a thicker consistency. Okay, let's get straight into the tutorial. So you want to get your bar of soap and you want to wet it. If you have water nearby, go ahead and spritz it with a little bit of water. If you don't, and I'm pretty sure everybody has a setting spray, you can just take a setting spray. I'm just using the Gerard Slay All Day spray and just spray it right onto the bar of soap. You don't want too much water, just want to wet the surface like that. All right, if it gets dry, spray it again. Okay, now we are going to take that spoolie and we're gonna rub it on there to get a little bit of soap. Let me zoom in here to show you guys how much soap I have on my brush, on my spoolie. Should look like that right there. And this is what you're gonna use to set your brows and give them that microbladed effect. So here I'm gonna zoom into my brows so you're able to focus and see how I am doing this. Here we go. So we're just gonna get that soap and we're gonna begin to brush our brow hairs up, pressing them down so like the hairs should be sitting, and this is why we're using this brush. Here we go. Keep brushing up. I know they look a little wild. Some people like to leave their brows like this, but I'm gonna keep it a little more tamed. So brush them up until you like how they look, you like the way the hairs are facing. Essentially what I'm doing is brushing the brow hairs in the direction of the growth. So these hairs usually go upwards, right? And then these here go sideways, and then these kind of curve, so we'll curve with them. And as you see here, I'm growing out my brows I used to pluck my brows way too much, so it's really hard for me to get them to look full again. So I feel that this technique has made them look so much more fuller and so much more natural. So as soon as I'm happy with the way it looks, and the reason they look microbladed is because you could see there that they look like individual pieces, like strokes of hair. And you want to continue doing that until you're satisfied, and then just with no more product on the spoolie, you're just gonna brush that down, slide that down there. Now using the other side of the brush, which is that pencil, I'm gonna go in and just fill in where there is no hair, just basically adding a few more brow strokes, like hair strokes. So like go right in there. When I used to use a pomade, I used to fill my brows in so much more. This has been so much faster for me also. Don't worry if you go a little too low here, because we're going to go back in and clean that up with the concealer. You want to do the same thing right in here. Make sure there's super fine hairs that you're drawing on. All right. I will now grab my concealer and a concealer brush. I'm using the Lejemalik concealer brush. This is literally made just for your eyebrows. It's called the Brow Concealer Brush. So here I'm just going to take that concealer. So with a little bit of concealer on my brush, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right underneath my brow. Just like that. And I'm going to be wiping off any extra concealer I have from my brush and blend that out. We don't want to see a sharp line underneath the brows, because that would make it look unnatural. You can take your finger and warm that up. And then now when I put the concealer, I made my eyeshadow look a little bit more intense. So I'm just going to go back in with a fluffy brush and just fluff that back in there. I usually do my brows before I do my eyeshadow, but you can just simply go back in and do that, and that'll just bring that right back. So there you go. That's how you achieve microbladed looking eyebrows. And as you see there, you can't tell that I have so much missing hair up in here, like I do right in there, because I used to over pluck my eyebrow. I'm going to repeat this on the other brow now. You guys can go ahead and create the same look, making them darker, lighter, however you like them. I just wanted to teach you guys the technique that I use to create microbladed looking eyebrows. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next.